What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. So we got a fun one today. So we've been doing a lot of the Chat GPT ones where we just kind of plug something in. We see like what Chat GPT says for scientific evidence. And today I plugged in what are the top 5 health and fitness myths according to scientific evidence. So like which ones have been debunked. And we're just going to rip through. We're going to start at number 5 on the list, and we're just going to talk about all of them and kind of give you guys our opinion on what we think, maybe what the actual thing is. And so number 1 or number 5 was you need to exercise every day to be fit. Obviously been debunked. What is your thoughts initially on that one there?
Man, I fell into this one personally, right? I always thought like more is better. I need to train every single day, especially when I was training twice a day. I was just like, the more volume I put in, the essentially, theoretically, if you think about it, you should be better, right? And so I did that for years, dude, until I started to figure out like, oh, I don't need to do that. It's not necessary to do that. What's the science back behind this? Oh, your body actually needs to recover, and the recovery is actually more important. Oh, okay. And then I started to grasp it, but I unfortunately I had to learn it the hard way. And so I have to explain that to clients too when I first bring them on. It's like, I've talked about it before, is I know people get excited when they first start something new, especially somebody who's been competitive or they lifted or trained before and they're going from zero and they want to go straight into 5 days a week. It's one of those things where I want you to pace it this time around so that you don't have to give up. It sounds like last time, previously, you were a little bit overwhelmed. You were doing a little too much. It wasn't sustainable for you because you've gone back down to 0 workouts now for the past however many years. So like explaining to people that the trajectory and what you choose to do off the bat is super important. So yeah, that's a big one, dude. Like I fell into that personally too. I don't know if you have at all or experience. I'm sure you've experienced it with clients as well, but yeah, man, those are my thoughts on that one.
Oh yeah, dude. We share a very similar story where I was doing so much shit. I was like, more is like going to get me better results, quicker results. And I ran into that problem too, where for a while, like it was that way where I was like, my body was reacting good, but at a certain point, like you just run yourself into the ground. And so my body got way overstressed. I started seeing like the results go in the opposite direction. My lift started to dip.
Yeah.
Like, you just get to a point where your body just can't handle the amount of volume that you're feeding it anymore. And so, yeah, I've had to learn that one the hard way too. And I've understood, like, once I actually put in place, like what I shifted to is I kind of went like an opposite direction. I did 3 days a week, full body. I saw dramatic differences. I was like, oh my God, my body feels good. My weight skyrocketed, like, because I just plateaued and even gone backwards. And so finding that, and I know we always preach, like, what can you stick to for life? Like, just start there. And you can always add days if you want to. I mostly, like, I do 5 to 7 days a week, and I'll just do something small. But I also listen to my body to where, like, if I'm just not feeling good, I'll do more of a yoga day that day. Like, I don't need to do a workout every single day. I had 2 days last week where my body was not feeling good. 2 days in a row, I did yoga and just like stretching, because I was like, my body just, I don't think I can take doing like a workout today. And so I always preach that. I think that's like the way to go about it. So I think that's a huge one. Number 4, no pain, no gain. So,
These are like right up my alley, dude. Like same thing.
yeah.
Like it's as hard as I can go. The more sweat during the workout, in my mind, equates to a better workout. We obviously know now that's not necessarily true, but somehow, some way, psychologically, we think that, right? It's like, oh, I worked harder, therefore that means that I had an amazing workout. I exhausted myself. If I'm not laying on the ground after the workout, in my own pool of sweat, then I didn't go hard enough, and therefore the day's wasted, right? Like I shouldn't even have shown up today. I used to think that way. And so
Yeah.
no matter how I felt, I would just try to blitz myself during workouts. And like, man, especially being in like a group and a community atmosphere where everybody's showing up and everybody's like, you have a competitive group and they're chomping at the bit and you guys are pushing each other and like seeing who can lift the heaviest, and like, dude, it gets super competitive, not knowing that under the surface, you're probably doing more damage than you are benefit, right? Just by pushing yourself, redlining all the time, each and every single day. Those kind of go hand in hand, man. I used to think that all the time too. No pain, no gain. Like if I'm not pushing hard enough, dude, I'm not getting anything out of this. I might as well not even try. Right.
I'm with you, dude. I think that those first two that we went through, number 5, number 4, are very similar to where
Yeah.
I used to do the craziest fucking shit, Jim.
Yeah, dude.
I have
You know,
wild. When I think about like, I think about some of the stuff I was doing. I was doing like these running things on the treadmill where I would like
mhm.
run as far as I could on incline, and then I would go down and like I would just do, and I would do this exercise, this workout that I got on YouTube where it was like a ladder workout where you started at 10 reps, like of, you did squats, shoulder press, push-ups, and you just kind of, and then you the rest for 30 seconds. Then you go through this 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, all the way down to 1, and then you work away all the way back up to 10, and I'd try to do it as quick as I possibly could. Like there was like I'd see how quick I could possibly do it, and I would just crush myself. And it's like it, but
Yeah.
also like it was a thing where I thought, oh, if I'm not like sore the next day, like then it wasn't a quality workout. Which obviously, like if you're constantly sore, your body's probably not getting able to recover. Same thing as
Yeah.
before. So that's a good one. Number 3, you have to stretch before working out.
Mm. Yeah, it's funny is like I always like used to preach this too, and we used to. I think coming from an athletic background, it was just like, okay, let's at least do more of like a dynamic warm up kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like we don't have to sit there and do full on yoga before we go into a strength session. I think we, at least the group that I was around growing up and being coached and guided, they were pretty good on this one. But I see a lot of people too that are just like, oh, you know, I have to go through this full on like static stretch routine before every workout. And it's just like, it's cool. Like the data comes out and it shows and it proves to you that like, hey, yeah, you can elevate your body temperature. You can get some blood flow. You can get your body loose and you can get going. You don't have to do this full on like elaborate yoga stretch routine. Sometimes it's just moving the body through the motions that you're going to get ready to do and simplify it, and do it at no weight or lighter weight. And dude, you can be ready to rock. I think people are on either side. People are like, don't do any warm up at all, or they do this like super long. I'm going to foam roll. I'm going to use bands. I'm going to go through this full stretch routine. Like, although good, it's not necessary. Like, you don't have to do all that, So I think finding that sweet spot and what works for you that is, again, is consistent, sustainable, makes your body feel prepped, ready to go. It's going to be different for everybody.
Yeah, I agree. I think, well, first off, static stretching. I think they've come out with research that it's actually can decrease your performance. Like so,
Yeah.
you're gonna
Power
do
output.
anything. Yeah, walk. Like you said, I've always liked to do mobility. Just
Yeah.
like do mobility exercises. I used to do like really pretty long warm ups, but now I just kind of do it's like 5 minutes. Maybe I'll do some just something to get, like you said, the blood flowing. And again, it's just going to come down to what works best for you. So just find what works best for you and stick to that. But yeah, you don't have to do much there.
Dude, I got back into doing crossover symmetry. Have you ever done that at all?
No, what is that?
No. So crossover symmetry is for like your scaps and your shoulders. And so like I just been noticing with my pressing, especially just the bar, the bench, every once in a while it'll just kind of lighten my shoulder up a little bit. And it's like, man, I'll feel it for like the rest of the week. But I was thinking to myself, I was like, when's the last time I did my crossover symmetry routine? It takes 5 minutes, dude. And it's just resistance bands. You're plugging them at eye level and then you're plugging them in at knee level. And you have two resistances, just a heavy band and then a lighter band. And the heavy band is more for like your rows and your retracting stuff, and then your lighter band is for stuff where you're doing like straight arm retraction where it's a little bit harder, you need a little bit lighter resistance. But like, dude, you just go through that protocol, a crossover symmetry protocol, which by the way, if you have a set of bands and then you can just you could just Google crossover symmetry scap protocol or crossover symmetry shoulder protocol, they just make like this placard of like these 8 to 10 movements. And dude, by the time you're done with that, it takes 5 minutes. Your shoulders are ready to go. They're mobile. They feel like nice and warm. They're good. Like, so I highly recommended that to people. I actually put that in my programming for people and just offered it to individuals who like struggled to get their shoulders warm, or like they were having nicks or bangs or things like that. That's something you can stay on consistently. You could just do that, being proactive, and you could just go through that warm up or as a cool down or whatever. But it's great, man. Like the crossover symmetry stuff is cool. Like, and you don't need like their stuff. They offer bands that are like super expensive. If you just have a set of resistance bands with some handles and you got a light set and you got a quote unquote heavier or moderate set, you're good, man. And you can adjust the attachment points like just with a simple door anchor at eye level and knee level. Dude, you're ready to rock.
I love it, dude. I'll have to look into that myself. I've
Yeah.
never heard of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But it's good. I like that. That's another thing
It's
that
like the Jagger bands. Remember the Jagger bands? Like you used to put the wrist thing on for baseball. You like they had the Velcro wrist things, and
oh,
you like hook them onto the
the
fence. It's
yeah.
it's a lot of the similar movements as those, but like it's very structured. It's very like it's a lot
Okay.
more strategic. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody look into that, especially if you have shoulder issues. That can be really good. But next up, it's myth number 2: lifting weights will make you bulky. So this is
Mm.
it, classic, right?
I wish, man. Like that'd be so cool. Like, I think as dudes, like we want to pack on muscle, right? We want to look jacked. We want to look good, and we want to feel good, right? And so I think it's more so the lady crowd. The women is a big fear for them, and
Mhm.
some guys too. Some guys think they're going to blow up to look like bodybuilders the second they touch weights, and it's just not the case. And so I think they're comparing themselves to the tip of the spear, or people who have obviously been doing it for a long period of time, or it's some way, shape, or form their job, or like they're doing it as a professional athlete, and they're thinking that they're going to get to that doing 2 to 3 times a week, 4 times a week. uh, you know Introducing themselves to resistance training is it's extremely difficult. And so I tell people to try, like just try, and I want to see what happens when you try. And like obviously they don't get anywhere close, and so I think it helps them come back down to earth and be like, okay, I get this. Like I'm building lean muscle tissue. This takes a lot more effort than I anticipated, a different level of consistency than I first had imagined. And so once people can like grasp that concept and they see how beneficial it truly is for them, resistance training, and it's not just like a bodybuilder thing. I think as soon as they have that mental shift, they're more accepting of it. I've found.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's like once you see that it doesn't happen, then it's a little bit
Hmm.
easier. But yeah, it's just the comparison game to like these bodybuilders, right?
Hmm.
It's like no. I always just tell the story like no, like I used to work out as hard as you possibly could, like 7 days a week, sometimes multiple times a day, and
Yeah.
I did not get bulky, right?
Yeah.
It is a combination of like really structured, really like progressing your workouts in a certain way and eating a lot of food and in a lot of protein and
Yeah.
eating clean. Like there's a lot of things that go into it. And then it's genetics too. It's like some people you
Yeah.
could work as hard as you possibly could. You could do everything perfectly and you're never going to get bulky. Right. And
Hmm.
women, like a lot of times what women don't understand is like you don't have a lot of testosterone. A lot of the reason why guys can get a little bit more bulky is because of our testosterone. It helps us
Yeah.
build more muscle. It helps us hold on to more muscle, right? So it's like different things like that. And so, like you said, women, it's generally more common with them. But you do see the guys. I don't want to get bald. It's like, well, you're
Yeah.
not you. Like it's like just the thing, the fact that you don't want it, like you're not gonna get it because
Hmm.
it's you're not gonna work out hard enough or in a certain just like eat a certain way that allows you to do that. So
Yeah.
definitely a good one there to talk through. And the last one here, myth number 1 is cardio is the only way to lose weight. And
Yeah,
that's
I think
classic.
we've had episodes on this one right before, and
Oh yeah.
coming looking from the outside in, it's like I could see why you would think that, right? It's again, it almost kind of ties back into the first ones that we were talking about, like 5 and 4. It's like I have to go from doing nothing, which I'm doing right now. I'm doing zero. Man, the way that I should be able to lose weight, I'm gonna have to start running, right? I'm gonna have to go ride the bike. I'm gonna have to do some crazy stuff, and then that's the way I could drop weight. And matter of fact, I haven't been doing it, so that's probably why I'm where I'm at right now. So I must have to go start. I must go. I might as well go sign up for a run, right? You see a lot of people do
Yeah.
that too. And so it's like it's this myth that is once you've understand the cool thing and the point that we were just talking about before is once people change their mindset on eh, they've engaged in resistance training consistently, they're prioritizing protein, they started mitigating and controlling the amount of calories that they're consuming. All of a sudden they see the benefits from resistance training. They're like, oh, I'm not getting bigger, I'm actually getting smaller, like body fat's coming off of me. I'm helping myself by including and increasing the amount of muscle that I have on me. My metabolism is speeding up. All these things are working. My pant size is I'm basically shrinking. Like my pants are like too loose on me now. These are all commonalities that we see when people engage in consistency prioritizing protein, a healthy lifestyle, not doing any crazy cardio. You can do it if you want, if you more so want to increase your aerobic abilities and health, but like you don't have to feel like you have to do it to burn calories. Like in the short term, are you going to burn more calories by just exhausting yourself and going for a run and doing something at super high intensity? Yes, of course. Like it's going to burn more calories, but you get more bang for your buck if you look at your entire schedule across the 24 hours in a day, and your muscle tissue is going to work harder for you over that extended period versus just how many calories you're going to burn in this little short cardio window that you can perform for 20, 30, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, depending on your pacing, your ability, etc. But like, I think people could shift their minds, instead of looking at cardio as like, I'm going to use it to burn calories, look at it for heart health, look at it to build your aerobic capacity, look at it for those benefits, not to lose weight. And because it ends up being this dead end trap where you just kind of go like, man, I can't do this for so long. I end up tweaking or, injuring myself because I went from 0 to 100 and now I can't do anything. And now I feel like I can't do cardio and there's no way I'm going to lose weight. And it's just like, you back yourself into this very narrow hole. So yeah, I think it's, again, a lot of these things are just perspective. It's cool that we go over myths and we're like trying to look at the myths that are very common in the health industry and going, okay, can those be debunked? Can we smash those? Can we shift our mindset to do things that are actually beneficial for us? And this is a big one. I could see why it's number one.
Yeah, no, you hit it right on the head. And I think the only thing I would add is that, really it comes down to like what you feel like you can stick to, what you enjoy doing. Right. And we always challenge people, just try out resistance training and you'll see the benefits of it. And generally it's something that can be you can stick to a little bit longer just because you aren't exerting as much energy and like exhausting yourself. But that's not to say that like if something that you love doing is biking or going on runs or like, doing like swimming or whatever it is, like those things are all great things too. And so I would just say, try different things, find what you can stick to, find what you enjoy. And that's going to be the best thing for you long term for sure. Or a mix of things, right? Like I definitely used to be on the other side of the coin where I was so against cardio. Like I was like so against cardio. I was like, oh, cardio sucks, blah, blah, blah. But then it's like, oh, well, when I do cardio, I feel a lot better, right? It's just like that you get that, it helps your heart. It helps, your cardiovascular, like you're just like, you don't get exhausted as much from doing things. So there's definitely a thing there of make sure that you maybe include a little bit of both in your routine. And I've even done like cardio through weights before. Like that's like, where you just have like really high rep days where you just do that. And it's more of a cardio thing than it is a resistance training thing, but you're also doing resistance training in the mix. So love this. This was fun. Just to recap the top 5 myths, according to health and fitness that have been debunked by science. So myth number 5 was you need to exercise every day to be fit. Myth number 4, no pain, no gain. Myth number 3, you have to stretch before working out. Myth number 2, lifting weights will make you bulky. And lastly, myth number 1, cardio is the only way to lose weight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And if you do find yourself falling into any of these myths, just, think of like kind of take this into consideration, the stuff we talked about today, and hopefully you can start to change your perspective and see that this isn't the case, because you open yourself up to a lot more possibilities when you do. But we do appreciate you guys watching, listening every single week. We hope you enjoy this. Share this with a friend if you have somebody who you think could benefit from it. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and we will be talking to you soon.